Good afternoon, and welcome back to another episode of Smoke and Mirrors presented by the Sports Hit List. And happy Halloween weekend.
That was
It is,
smooth.
it is officially Halloween, y'all. We have any Halloween plans? I'm excited to hear Declan. I feel like a college student. What's going on with you? Do you have Halloween costume, and what are those plans?
So I'm going as Ted Lasso, from the hit TV show Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jason Sudeikis. I was in an SNL skit with him when I was 8, and he was really funny. I liked him, but so I'm happy to go as him for Halloween. And as far as my plans go, my mother is watching, and therefore none of you will know my plans. That is not how
Smart
this
man.
is gonna go.
It wasn't a setup. I actually forgot about that. So yeah.
Nah, I don't know if she's watching, but yeah.
Mama Krogman, he's gonna be
she'll see it
studying.
somehow.
She
gonna be
probably will.
studying.
She's an avid watcher. We love Mama Crockett.
She is.
For always tuning
She
in.
is. She watches a lot of the hit list shows.
Yes. Greg, what's the plans? Where are the kids going? Where are you taking the kids?
I mean,
What are their costumes?
Kaylee's sick, so she's not going anywhere this weekend.
Aw.
KJ was the Minecraft creeper and actually got really upset when an adult called him a robot today. Sunday, I believe you have something that I would like to attend, but I'll let you get to that. I don't even know if I have a costume. I just might go as a tired dad.
There's a lot of those actually this weekend.
And
You should wear-
there's
Greg,
something
you should-
earlier for the kids. I should wear
Greg,
what?
You should wear that Jets shirt, the cutoff sleeves, where it says "Win or lose, Jets forever" or something, and just go as a clown. Honestly, I think that would be a good costume.
Wow, we're starting early.
I
The
mean,
daggers.
You know what? I'm gonna let this one rock for right now because
I know.
we're gonna come back.
Yeah,
Something's
yeah,
gonna come
you got-
back.
Well, it always does. I'm wearing green today, so I figure it's like a bulletproof vest.
I do have a Halloween party that I'm hosting for Sunday at Basquiat's Bottle.
Steph, the super host. You gotta let them know what Basquiat's
that's
bottle
lit.
is, bro.
Yeah, I'm hey, you well, I didn't
Steph,
finish it.
Steph, you're an entrepreneur. I gotta say, I think that is the path.
Well,
the path
thank
for
you.
you.
There's no money in this though. This is a free event for the
really?
community. It's for the community. All right. Basquiat's Bottles in Bed-Stuy on Fulton and like Bedford. But yeah, we're doing an event there called Into the Night, 21 plus. It is at a bar, so you have to be of age. But yeah, it should be a good time. We have 2 DJs we put together for it. Basquiat's Bottles, a great black-owned restaurant / bar. It's usually vibes there always from 7 to 11 Sunday. So after you do everything Friday, Saturday, you can come through to this nice chill kickback on Sunday.
Councilman Steph for the community.
I like it.
You already know. But yeah, let's get into it and get into this interesting sports week we had. I want to start with last night's game, which had the kind of ending you expect in Madden, not in real life.
That was a very Madden-esque pick.
Those are the best. Those are the best endings, though.
Yeah, but we started with Packers at Cardinals, and in this game you didn't have Devontae Adams, one of the best wide receivers in the league, and they were also without Allen Lazard. So really, you expected the Packers to come into this with a little less punch, and for the first half of the game, you did see that. I was honestly surprised with the Green Bay defense because they did everything in their power to stop Kyler Murray, and Kyler did not have a passing touchdown nor rushing one. It was one of those games where, I mean, if you took the Cardinals expecting their offense to go off like they usually did, you got burned. But that fourth quarter, we expected that comeback, and honestly, there was a good chance to win. And what we alluded to earlier was AJ Green, former Bengal, who is really had his career has turned around now that he's with the Cardinals, averaging almost like 6 targets, I think, a game, being a huge contributor on what should have been a fade. AJ Green decided to continue blocking his corner and never turned around. And the ball was eventually picked in a situation where they could have won easily or tied it. And AJ Green dropped the ball, or rather he didn't even look for the ball. He couldn't even drop it.
He needed a map. He looked like the poor kid that was called in to guard Hopkins.
That was bad.
Yeah. No,
Stokes,
that was bad.
His name is.
I mean, it's Hopkins. He hasn't had the best season, but he's also still DeAndre Hopkins. But I want to know from you, Dak. I'll start with you. What'd you make of this game? And in a week that there aren't that many great matchups, do you think this is one of the better ones we're going to see this week?
Yeah, I think that was easily, if that wasn't the best finish that we were going to see all week, I'm so excited to see what Halloween football brings on Sunday. Because that game, while you could take it or leave it, the offense wasn't great all around. No one got into the 30s, but it was a close game, 3-point margin. Obviously, the Packers covered that 6.5 spread. But I really loved it. To see the Cardinals, especially having the Cardinals, you could see when the switch kind of turned. On that 3rd and goal, Rodgers scrambles. They had that touchdown called back, which was really the difference in win or lose.
Yeah.
And then that deflection by former Giant Devon Kennard on 4th and goal. And then 3rd down for them to march down the field. Chase Edmonds was great at getting first downs throughout the entire second half. Shout out to Chase Edmonds of Fordham.
Somebody dropped him in Karan's league, and I picked him up.
That's absurd.
I understand why they dropped him. I understand why someone would drop him if there was someone hotter on the wire, because Edmonds hasn't really been.
I mean, the wire's been pretty barren though.
I wouldn't have dropped him.
he got hurt in that second quarter or third quarter, rather, and then he wound up blowing up even more after that. So there was a great game. They get down the field and what could have been a 99-yard game-winning drive. That's a headline that sells. That's a story that sells. That's a nice, memorable moment for the Cardinals to keep not just the game on the line, but their undefeated season on the line. To lose like that is tough, man. It was a nice back shoulder ball by Kyler. That's a ball that AJ Green needs to locate and make a play on, like he's been doing his entire career when he.
Well, he clearly didn't have. He clearly didn't know what he was doing, or rather, he didn't have the right play because it looked like he thought it was a run.
Yeah, you see those picks in the red zone when there's 20 seconds left, even if it looks like the offense is going down the field. We obviously saw the Super Bowl most memorably in that same stadium, Seahawks-Pats, but even I remember Pats-Steelers a couple of years ago, Big Ben throwing an interception on a slant route on a fake spike. So these things happen. Guys get complacent. You can't run your full offense. You run out of room. Granted, they should be completely, fine with that now. But, I mean, it was a great play by the defender, but really all on AJ Green.
It's a great play by, catching the ball. But what I'm saying is that AJ Green, to me, thought it was a run. Like, he never looked for the ball. In my mind,
which makes no sense in that situation.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, look at he was just blocking his.
Was it a no huddle at that point?
It was not. No, because Kyler was hurt. I think they just had called a timeout, but it was 14 seconds left with no timeouts. Why would you run the ball?
Yeah, and that's what I'm just assuming, right? Because if you look at how he made that play, he never
Kirk
ran a route.
Open.
Everybody else ran a route.
Good.
He didn't run a route.
First of all, the number one target should have been Zach Ertz, not just because he's the tight end threat, but because he's on mine and Steph's keeper league fantasy team. So therefore, he should have been the number one.
Though, he has some of the strongest hands in the league. He made that catch on 4th down yesterday. That really, not a lot of guys make that
going.
catch.
Yeah,
really. I mean, it was a great play.
He's been a huge addition so far.
Yeah, different bird, same guy. He's been exploding completely in his first. He had a touchdown in the first game, and he had a great game the other day.
Yeah,
last night. I think he played 3 or 2.
Just two.
2 games.
Yeah. But Greg, what are your thoughts? Do you think this is going to be the most exciting game we see this week?
No, actually, I don't. When we start talking about the football games,
we're getting into the rest
of the games. Yeah. I'll tell you what I think is going to be the most exciting game. It might throw you guys, but as far as this game goes, it is not what I expected. I was actually kind of disappointed with it, to be honest. Because even with A-Rod missing his guys, you still expect A-Rod to perform. There was one point A-Rod had 25 passes and he had like 75 passing yards. It wasn't a
lot of dumps to
Aaron Jones. It wasn't the MVP type performances I expected to see from two guys who are on the cusp of MVP contention. And I expected a lot more Aaron Rodgers to Randall Cobb connection, given he was the most experienced receiver. But I forgot the guy. His last name starts with a W. I don't even know if he came from the practice squad, but he seemed to be in a lot more 2 and 3 wide receivers. Two wide receivers. Yes, Winfrey.
Yeah,
two wide receivers.
Number 88. He dropped that big ball.
As opposed to Cobb, which kind of threw me off a bit. They must see something in the kid that they like, but I wanted to see more. The end was excited, but it was the first real excitement we saw in the game. There were a lot of methodical drives, a lot of 12+ play drives with a lot of runs, a lot of check downs,
and up a lot of clock.
Kyler Murray took a couple shots down the field, but there was nothing really there for him. I mean, with Kirk and I think with Hopkins at that 155-yarder with the face mask.
That was a nice play.
It was. I wanted to see more offense. And this is not a knock on the defense. I think the defense has held up as much as they could. But it wasn't what it was. I thought it would build as. Yeah. But I do look forward to a meeting in the playoffs, though. I think it would be different.
One of the big surprises for me was the amount of snaps that we saw from A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon finished with more rushing attempts than Jones. And, I mean, Jones ran well, but A.J. Dillon ran really well. He ran very hard.
He's a bigger and a physical, more physical runner than Jones. He runs tough.
And he can still catch. They didn't really use him in the passing game, though, but he can.
But he shows the ability to still be able to get it done. Can I be honest with you? I traded Aaron Jones in the Brook League about 2 or 3 weeks ago because I saw that Dillon was eating into his snap count. Now, this doesn't mean I think Aaron Jones is a bad player. He's a great running back. But if your quarterback starved in a 2-quarterback league, you have to give up something to get something. And I felt like Aaron Jones, I had how do you pronounce it?
Cordero Patterson.
Cordero, yeah.
I had C. Patterson and Austin Eckler. So I felt like Aaron Jones was the one guy I could give with some equity to bring me something back. So I do think as the season goes on, A.J. Dillon will eat more into it, but then in the playoffs, they're going to ride that Aaron Jones train.
I think that's what I'm seeing with this game. You traded him before this game, which I mean, that's a tough trade for me to make, but I'm glad you had the balls to do it. I just think that A.J. Dillon, seeing how they use him this game, trying to keep Aaron Jones fresh, someone that has experienced injuries throughout the season. He hasn't played a full slate of games. So using A.J. Dillon the way they have, especially in this game, and he ran efficiently, 16 carries, 78 yards, it will keep Aaron Jones fresh, especially the way they use him in the passing game. That's an interesting dynamic for me. And I think for that offense, the way that A.J. Dillon was able to run, you're going to see more of the mixing and matching, and he could end up having 10-plus carries more often than not in these games.
It does make the offense scarier when Devontae Adams comes back.
Yes.
Yeah,
agreed.
Aaron Rodgers is now 7-0 in games without Devontae Adams. Though.
That's insane.
That's a stat. That's a stat that only Rodgers would be able to get that done.
Weird. See, he needs to discount double check on that stat.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's discount double check for sure. But let's get into these Sunday games. I want to talk about these marquee matchups. Right? I want to know your thoughts on this. We're gonna start with a matchup that I am very much interested in for fantasy implications, and that's Patriots-Chargers. The Patriots at the Chargers. Last time they met, we had a situation where a rookie quarterback and Justin Herbert was blindsided, and
he got Belichicked.
Belichicked, which happens to most rookie quarterbacks.
And it even happened to him, which was actually
it's a revenge game, honestly. And I think I'm excited for this matchup. But Greg, I want to start with you. Who do you have in this matchup? And what are your thoughts on how Justin Herbert's going to do?
So, as you know, since we share a team, there's definitely some shared interest there.
Of course.
And I feel like the Pats are kind of like the Saints, where it's tough to get a real gauge on who they are. They do some things really well, but then there's some things they do not do well. And it's all a matter if the Chargers' talent can exploit it. And I think the Chargers have enough talent on the offensive side of the ball to do that. And I think after seeing the Pats for once already, I think Justin Herbert is a smart enough and talented enough quarterback and he's also he throws the ball really well against the blitz now as opposed to then. And
throws the ball well, period.
Also true. I think that he can really, create some mismatches now that Mike Williams is the Mike Williams that he was supposed to be alongside Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
I need a bounce back game from Austin Eckler, though. I cannot have the dud he put up against the Browns.
I think there was a report yesterday that I think it's a hip injury, or maybe it was a hammy. It was something that he heard during practice. So he's going to be monitored today.
And the problem is the backups for the Chargers aren't as dynamic as he is.
Yeah.
So I need him to show up. And what you notice when Austin Eckler plays well, that offense is on a whole nother level because it opens up everything. So I think Austin Eckler shows up. Chargers win this one, by a touchdown.
I got Chargers. Deck, what about you?
Yeah, I completely agree with what Greg said about what Eckler really brings to that offense. He seems to be their kind of the glue that keeps it together. Because when you interchange other backs in there, it doesn't operate the same. But I'm going to go the Chargers. Last year, Justin Herbert got Belichicked. This year, Mac Jones is going to get Staleyed, and the Chargers are going to win this game. I think they actually put up I think they put up 30 to 35 points in this one. Herbert's going to
Wow.
have a day.
We
Listen,
need that. Thank you.
he needs to get
talk
Yeah.
that into existence.
Yeah.
I'm gonna speak it into existence. He needs to
Please.
get the monkey off his back after what happened against the Ravens. So I would expect them to do really big things on Sunday.
Yeah, I want that too, but I don't really see it. I think the one thing that has been good enough with this Patriots team is their defense. Bill Belichick has still managed to put together a solid defense that gives quarterbacks the fits. I mean, this is the same Patriots defense that shut down Tom Brady for 4 quarters, pretty much.
Well, I mean, that's also a situation where Belichick knew every single one of Tom Brady's weaknesses because he's coached him basically his entire career.
I mean, yes, I understand that, but this is also a man that shut down the same quarterback. I think he gave up 4 picks in the last time we saw him. So there's a lot that Justin Herbert has to prove against this defense.
He's not the same quarterback, though. You got to admit that.
No. He's improved for sure. I'm not saying he's the same quarterback. All I'm saying is that
I was surprised that happened last year.
Yeah, because how well he was doing at the time. You didn't expect Herbert to struggle the way he did. But I'm going to go Chargers still. I really hope that it is like a 35-point affair deck just for fans.
You said all that to go Chargers?
Oh, of course.
It is very tough to disrespect Belichick.
It just needs to be mentioned because that defense is good, is legit. And I think that's one point that I'll make about Belichick, another point rather, is that of all the coaches out there right now, he is doing the best job with his rookie quarterback.
Yes.
I just think that they're not asking too much of him, right? They have him doing the basics, just getting the easy passes down, moving the chains. And that's something that we're not seeing enough from the other rookies. Trevor Lawrence is coming around, but Mac Jones has consistently been good enough, and he has not hurt the team. You have a lot of these rookies that are hurting the team more than they're helping them. And I don't necessarily see Mac Jones against this defense doing enough for them to win because I think that
Derwin James, baby.
As long as Eckler is healthy and
real
he's back,
best in the nation.
Yeah, they have so many weapons, and even thinking about I'm forgetting the tight end for the Chargers.
Which one?
Hunter Henry that went to the Patriots?
No, not Hunter Henry. Jared Cook.
Jared Cook and then
Jared Cook.
Partham?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the guy that used to play for the Chargers that now plays for the Pats.
No. That's not that one.
You were getting in there.
Okay. Not that one. No, I'm talking about Jared Cook.
Yeah, what about Jared Cook?
No, I'm saying that Jared Cook to me is a player that Herbert has been utilizing a lot more, especially on third down.
Gotcha. Very similar to how Breeze used to use him on those corners all the time. But can we just talk about that rookie development for a sec? Like, I'm seeing a lot of takes online about how Belichick's holding the offense back. He's too conservative and stuff. I have ESPN. ESPN said he's playing way too conservative.
Cloud Network.
I put it in the chat. I had put it in the chat.
Was it behind a paywall? It wasn't behind a paywall. You sure?
I don't know. Maybe Brady put them up to it. I'm not sure. But anyway, they said that he was playing very conservative. And the fact of the matter is that they want to see him take the training wheels off Mac Jones and stuff. And I think Bill Belichick is managing it the perfect way. Right now, Mac Jones is not ready to have those training wheels off. I think he's been a good rookie quarterback, but let's groom him as such. This isn't a team that's looking to go to the playoffs. They can lose some games, but as long as they're getting their guy experience and Mac Jones is improving on a week-to-week, year-to-year basis, Bill Belichick's doing this the right way. It's very similar to how, Mac Jones, if you're into analytics, all the throws he makes are really safe throws, and that's why his turnovers are down compared to a lot of other rookies, and even down amongst regular NFL starter numbers. It's very similar to what the Cowboys did in 2016 to Dak Prescott when he took over for Romo. They let him run some of the read offense, a run-heavy offense, and they gave him those safe throws, half-field reads, and you're seeing Belichick really know how to groom a quarterback.
Yeah. And use that
good,
defense
and it's
wisely.
Working nice. I mean, he probably got you. I guess maybe besides Fields, if you want to say Fields got more hate, or Mac Jones got a lot of hate for where he was picked, and the kind of player he is, and he's abided by the Belichick rule and the Belichick mold, and he's been doing good so far. But I don't think it's time to take the training wheels off.
No, not yet.
No, definitely not yet. All right, next up, I got the Panthers versus the Falcons. Now, this isn't a great Falcons defense, and we know that. We've seen that throughout the season. But Sam Darnold, who was supposed to be starting, not PJ Walker, even though Sam got benched, this is a game where I think he can get right. But the offense for the Falcons to me has finally started clicking. Matt Ryan is starting to look like Matt Ryan, and Kyle Pitts is looking like one of the best tight ends in the league. Big smile. Yes, indeed, big smile. But Greg, I'll start with you. Who do you have for this matchup? And what do you think the numbers are for Kyle Pitts? I want to know. Everything's fantasy-wise with us.
So before I even get into the matchup, remember how you guys asked me, like, as far as exciting games? This is going to be the most exciting game of the week.
Okay.
This right here.
All right.
It's like a toilet bowl. Really?
No, and I'll tell you why it's not. Atlanta will finish second in the NFC South because of their schedule, regardless of their defense. Because they're, like Steph said, they started to click on offense. But I have a feeling Sam Darnold, after getting benched, is going to kind of come back and kind of show people like, hey, I can still play football. I'm not as bad as I looked against the New York Giants. Mm-hmm. I can still do this. So I think there's going to be a good – I think DJ Moore has a big game because of that. Robbie Anderson, I don't know what's going on with Robbie. He's in – I don't know. But I see the Panthers defense not breaking but bending a little bit. And I think we have a 27 kind of 21-24 game. But I do think Atlanta's going to come out on top just because they're trending in a different direction. And the offense is the key. I don't think their offense can be stopped by Carolina. As solid as Carolina's defense has been, their offense has kept them on the field a lot the last couple of weeks. And that's, pretty poor momentum, in my opinion, for the Panthers going into this game against a team that has figured out their identity. Mike Davis is kind of taking a back seat to C. Patterson, and
C. Pats.
Yeah, he's taking a back seat because of Patterson's ability to be a wide receiver out of the backfield and to run routes. And Matt Ryan finally realized Kyle Pitts is that guy, the same guy that I said he was when he was getting drafted and getting scouted and being the best tight end prospect ever. I think there's a stat that he lined up outside of the tight end slot 40% of the time on the outside. He's a wide receiver essentially playing tight end.
Yeah, it was 42%.
He had 170 yards the other day.
And I don't think it matters what corner goes up against him because of his size, his athletic ability, the 50-50 balls. He just goes out there and takes them out of the air.
His catchability is amazing.
Yeah. As far as numbers, Steph, I got 8 for 115 and a TD.
Oh, I like it. That's conservative. Dak, who you got in this matchup?
Yeah, so I got to say, Greg, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think Sam Darnold is going to play good football and good enough to show that he is not the Sam Darnold of the Jets, or let's just say Meadowlands Sam, because
Meadowlands Sam.
He sees it's MetLife now. MetLife
doesn't Meadowlands
Sam sounds better.
Doesn't that sound like a gambling uncle or something? Meadowlands Sam.
It does.
He's headed to the casino again. Anyway. Anytime he's there, he always sees ghosts. Shout out to Halloween. It's a good timing for that comment.
Good plug.
But I really agreed with Greg when he said that this is a 27-24 game. I actually had written down a 28-24 Falcons win.
Nice.
I think that Matt Ryan is really they're looking to get over 500 for the first time in ages. I think that Matt Ryan is really going to put the pedal to the metal this week. They're at home in their own home dome, I should say, not stadium, but. Big time game. If this game was in Carolina, maybe it would be different. But I really liked it. I like the Falcons in this one.
I don't think the setting changes necessarily. I'm hoping that they change the game script up for Sam. I think I just want to see more runs from Hubbard. I mean, he's gotten enough time to get acclimated to the offense and feel a little bit more comfortable, allowing Darnold not to have to rely so heavily on Darnold for passing. And
Sam's been
easier
bad.
Passes. Yeah.
Sam's been bad, but McCaffrey being out is huge.
Yeah, we saw what he was like with McCaffrey, right? It's any quarterback that has a running back
really
that dynamic is just amazing. But I'm going to take Falcons
Kyle
here.
Allen, I guess.
Oh, Kyle Allen. We're not talking about the Washington football team or Kyle Allen right now. But yes, I'm going to go Falcons here. I just think their offense is too dynamic. The defense, they can make up for any of the mistakes, the issues the defense has. Cordero Patterson, to me, he had a quiet game last week. but I can't imagine too many teams keeping him down. They utilize him very well. This is a receiver turned running back that really hasn't popped the way that he was supposed to in this league. And now we're seeing the Falcons utilize him in a way that so many people wanted to do it. Well, Ty Montgomery was someone that was another running back wide receiver that kind of failed. He was decent when the Packers converted him, but never really produced the way that we've seen Patterson produce. So I think that the weapons they have now and Matt Ryan being able to play football the way that we expect him to, Matty Ice, I think this Falcons team just outscores the Panthers. Moving on, got an exciting one. I thought this one was going to be one of the more exciting ones. Titans at the Colts. And Deck, I'll start with you on this one. Who do you have for this matchup?
I really like this game, especially because of how well the Colts came off playing on the West Coast on the road on Sunday Night Football.
Last few games.
Yeah, national television. Yeah, they've been getting hot. Wentz has the longest streak in the NFL without an interception, and during that time, he's got the highest. I think it's passer rating, or whatever. Some stat, whatever. But it correlates, I guess, because of the no turnovers. He's playing clean, good football, and this team really did hit their stride. However, this is not the Tennessee Titans team, or as Greg likes to say, this is not your father's Titans. All right, this isn't even the Titans team from 4 or 5 weeks ago that beat lost to the New York Jets at the hands of Zach Wilson's first NFL victory. This is a team that beat the Bills, that embarrassed the Chiefs, and that is going to come in and play really good football against a division rival that they tend to play really, really tight on Sunday.
I think I had them coming out of that division. I can't remember.
The Titans?
Yeah.
I believe you do as well. I believe that is the case because that division is booty. But
the Colts, two decent teams.
The Colts have come out and shown that they could play, and Wentz has been much better. And Jonathan Taylor, I mean, what can you not say about the guy? I really thought that Wentz and that offense might hold him back, but there's no holding back that running. That man is just, he's like a running back possessed.
He looks like he was running it when he was at Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I remember year. I went to the Pinstripe Bowl and I saw him. They beat Miami 38-3 and he had like 205 yards or something ridiculous. They were saying he was the best rusher in the country or something. But damn,
he was.
He was good, man.
He was. Greg, what
the
about
way
you?
The way he said that. He was.
Yeah.
He was.
As far as
you got
this game, yeah, there's a toss up for me, man. Just saying, I could pick one team now, and I might change my mind Saturday night.
Yeah, so, I agree, Greg. I don't like that we have to be rushing.
You can change your mind. You're talking about for your sports hit list picks, right?
Yeah.
No one's saying that who you pick right now is going to be the same there, all right? So I'm not holding you to that.
You can change it as long as you're justified.
Right now, my gut tells me go with Titans because they're going to keep away with Derrick Henry, with King Henry. But I'm not sure. But
you're not sure.
Yeah. I gotta wait till Saturday, man.
Wow.
I'll come back on Monday.
What a cop out. You know what, Deck? I commend you. All right. Because before the show started, you're like, man, I hate doing this, but I'm gonna do it. Here you are doing it. Greg's over here copping out like we haven't done this every Friday, pretty much.
It's such a toss-up game to me that
it is. It is a toss-up game. But you know what? I'll do what you can't do. I'm going Titans because Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry. And regardless how...
You know what? Just because you went Titans, I'm going Colts. How about that?
All right, let's do it. I can't wait to talk to you on Monday.
Yo, Steph.
Out of spite, he chose his team.
Thank you. It's a nice way to gain a great game on Greg is to switch him to the lesser. So I'd like to shout out the Coulange family what is it? The family I almost said barbecue. It's
the Pick'ems?
Coulange, the family Pick'ems. I totally drew a blank there. But,
the barbecue.
Yeah. Well, I there's so many barbecues this weekend. I'm looking forward to all
barbecues.
Of them.
What? Up there, really?
Yeah. I mean, well, what do you think? What do you think?
Buffalo pastime?
I did hear of a 3.
Isn't it like -5 degrees up there already?
No, dude. Global warming exists, by the way. I mean, you kidding me? They used to say you couldn't see the sidewalk in October. Now it's just chilly mornings and decent days.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. I mean, the wind up here is fun. I found a way to throw into the wind. There's a nice way to. Now I see why Josh Allen throws so far.
Of course he is. Shout out to Manny. He just let us know that Julio Jones is out this Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that Steph
big.
and I went with Randall Cobb last night in our keeper league.
Julio just can't stay healthy this year. It's really unfortunate.
New team. We've seen how some receivers do.
New team, same Julio though.
With the new team.
Yeah.
As of late, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That means AJ should eat.
Does
he
it
ate
though?
last
Because
week.
now he's getting more coverage.
I mean, I think AJ with or without
He's a
coverage,
good receiver. He in my mind has taken over the spot of top Ole Miss receiver that DK Metcalf had last season. I think Brown has surpassed him for now.
I think it's a toss-up between the two of them.
I guess I'll see a toss-up. But yes, Greg, the reason I chose the Titans is because of Derrick Henry. Even when this team is down, the man is still going to have 30 carries. He manages, if you feed him, it could be a 3-yard gain, 2-yard gain, 4-yard gain, but he's going to break out. There's going to be at least 1 to 2, maybe even 3 huge runs from him, and it can change the tide of the game. He's just that type of player. And because the game is so close and it's one of those toss-ups, I'm going to lean, and I'm not saying that Taylor can't be that player, but Derrick Henry to me is someone that he wears down a defense. He will, after a drive from the Titans, your defense will be battered and bruised. That's how damn strong he is.
I'm going to be
That's
petty and pick the Colts.
I'm happy you do. And Dak, if you end up going up because of this, I'm happier for you.
I owe you a Whitman sampler, honestly. But I'm really excited. You mentioned that no defense is going to want to face Derrick Henry, but I'm really excited to see how Darius Leonard leads his unit out there on Sunday because listen, he called this game a must-win game. They're going to come in that division energy that we've seen the Titans get blanked by the Colts. Well, not even just the Andrew Luck days, but we saw it on Sunday Night Football in the Phillip Rivers. I don't want to say Phillip Rivers days because
it was just
really
a year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like the game would just be if it was a Phillip Rivers day. But I mean, that's my stance on it. I think that the Titans can get away with it, but I think that Darius Leonard he's gonna have to say something. He's gonna have something to say for Derrick Henry running all over his team.
We're gonna see.
Yo, Steph, anybody ever tell you with the headphones over the ears you give Kenny from South Park vibes?
No. I mean, it's the first time I think I'm rocking the hood like this, but
you give me Kenny from South Park vibes.
Kenny's a baddie though when he takes a hood off. I'm just saying. All right. You know what? I want to shout out Manny. He was saying that Henry's going for 200 this week. Yes, Manny. I like that energy. Give me Henry
against
for
the
200.
Texans.
Don't do that to that man. Like he can't throw up 200.
Of course he could. He could throw up 200 on anybody.
Yeah.
The 85 Bears. Oh, no, that's an ESPN headline now. How will Derrick Henry fare against the Mike Ditka-led Bears?
Freaking ESPN. Moving on, I got Steelers versus Browns, right? This is divisional matchup. 2 teams towards the bottom of the division. And I am not a fan of these Steelers, mostly because of Big Ben, but Najee Harris is just so freaking good. And he's found a way
him wrong.
You for sure did. There are a lot of people who did not do what you did because they were smart. But
wow, whoa. You are not gonna do is that. I'm not gonna allow that.
Insulted his intelligence.
No, it's straight up slander because I never said Najee was gonna be bad. I said he was going into a bad situation because I didn't trust the Steelers line.
I do remember you saying that.
But he is.
I mean, they averaged like 10 yards of rushing last year in a game, so I don't blame him.
But they injuries and they were broken down. But he's proven that he's not just a guy who could run between the tackles. He's a very valuable pass catcher.
Versatile back. He is their Le'Veon.
He wasn't that versatile at Bama.
No, I mean,
and he was dropping a lot of balls week 1.
He was. I mean, since week 1, though, he has improved steadily every week. But, Greg, I think it's right back to you. Steelers versus Browns, who you have. There is no Mayfield, as we know. We have a backup in Case Keenum.
Wait. Hold on. I got to
No, Mayfield's playing.
I'm sorry.
They just announced like an hour ago that he's playing.
Okay, that's on me. I'm sorry. The last time I wrote this, he was not playing. I apologize. All right, so he's playing.
I humbly accept your apology.
All right. Well, go, bitch.
Oh,
what? See this is why Garrison is starting a coalition against Steph because he does things like this. Did you see how humbly I came to him and accepted his apology?
That's
the response I get.
You know
I
what?
sensed a little bit of condescendence behind.
Yeah,
his
like
humble
you
apology.
read it.
But Steph, I will say this. Yeah, what is this? Anyway, you're starting to sound like Kenny from South Park for a second with that impression. But Steph has a way with throwing these subtle, digs at the end.
Subtle.
That wasn't subtle. That was a.
Steph carries a shredded dagger with words that he just has on his side, on his person. He's like a ninja, and before you know it, he jukes it in your skin and just twists it because
he
that's
uses
how
words
Steph
as
is.
weapons.
Absolutely.
Greg, who do you have?
But
who do you have?
I'm going to stick Baker coming off. I'm going to stick with my whole mantra. Baker is not that guy. Division game, Steelers are going to find a way to put him on his back. He's still going to force the ball to Odell, which is just does that chemistry has not worked. So they might as well just trade the guy. And I'm going to pick Steelers in this one and keep on my Browns not making a playoffs train.
Are you always going to go against the Browns? Is that just what it is?
I didn't actually go against the Browns last week because I thought Denver, the defense would show up after being kind of dogged the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I went them.
All
But
right. Deck, hit me with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go on the contrary. But before I even make my pick, I agree with the Beckham take and the Baker thing. I said a while ago. Listen, I don't really think it's on Odell. It's just not a mix.
Yeah.
But, guys with Odell's personality often do find themselves, once they get to that second team, they find themselves on a third team somewhat soon after. So, listen.
The personality hasn't been part of it, though. That's not been the issue.
He hasn't stayed healthy, and for some reason that it doesn't mean that
there.
I always did say that I felt the Browns were a better team without him, and it wasn't because of him. It just wasn't a fit. And everyone, was coming out and saying, how could you say that? Beckham's a guard. I'm like, I love Beckham. He's my favorite receiver. But the fact of the matter is that it doesn't work. Baker's numbers are a lot better without him than with him. And even without him, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say Baker Mayfield's a Pro Bowl quarterback because he's not that at all. But
he's not that guy.
He's not that guy, pal. Look at this, Greg. Greg finally downloaded TikTok this week ahead of Halloween.
I did.
No way.
That's too funny. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. I just took
He called it right. You called it right.
I've said that before, and he hasn't even batted an eye. And then he goes and says it. So I was like, all right. He got TikTok, but the Beckham thing just doesn't work. They don't mesh on that field at all. It was a case of you wanted Jarvis, Landry, and Odell to work well for friendship's sake.
Reliving the LSU days.
Yeah, really though.
But they need Zach Mettenberger. Baker Mayfield. It's not working out.
Mettenberger. Wow.
I had to put. You like that pull?
I haven't heard that one in a while.
Garrison would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Good. I hope he's watching. But
so two things real quick before we get to you, Kenny.
It's a Friday night, Gary.
Manny, shut up. And two, Josh Jacobs Najee Harris is already better than Josh Jacobs, and he will have a better career because Josh Jacobs is not that guy either.
I think Josh Jacobs could be that guy, but you can already see he's staring down the barrel of an injury-filled career, and he's on that turf too.
I think a different team potentially. I always felt that way with his usage. With the
Najee Harris is more dynamic on a worse offensive team.
I'm gonna say some wild stuff right now, and I'm gonna say that I really wish that Josh Jacobs. Yeah, it is. I haven't said anything wild all day.
No, he's for a while actually. There's been a few episodes we haven't said anything wild. A little sad for some people, some folks back home.
I know. Well, yes. Now some people don't have anything to talk about when they go on the Sunday show. So I know it's upsetting. Oh well, but I would love to see Josh Jacobs. I'd love to see Josh Jacobs paired up with McCaffrey. I feel like that would be a sick double-headed monster. But that might just be that I want to go play Madden in me right now, trying to see this. Trying to see this insane combo. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't work. But it would be something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. But is it though? I mean, McCaffrey spends half the time on the freaking
last two seasons. The last two seasons, yes.
But how long? He's played 4 seasons, so that's already half of his production. I mean, Saquon, it's been the last. In the last 3 seasons, actually. Yeah. But
he only has one like season under his belt, really, Saquon, without injury. Seriously.
But to make that
justification for the number 2 pick overall.
Oh no, that's not coming here. There's no justification for anything Dave Gettleman does. That's why you never trust a guy from Boston to come in and run a New York team. It's disgraceful. It only goes the other way when Belichick wants to go coach the Pats. But I'm going to have to throw up a nice middle finger to Greg and Eric Siegel because I'm going to have to go with the Browns this week. I can't. Eric's
You're
my
always
boy.
fighting with him about the Steelers, though.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, he's one of my favorite people on the hit list. I mean, he's a great guy. I know I'm outside the hit list now. Eric's the boy. But, I got to fight with him about the Steelers. I said that Big Ben should not have been the QB of this team going into the year. I remember you guys were against me on that. Big Ben so far has looked like is there – do I want to compare him to Zach Wilson? Nah, I'll leave it. There's no need for that. But he just – I know. Yeah, well, you know what? Greg's wearing the green. Steph's wearing the Steelers yellow. So I'm wearing the green. We got a interesting dynamic here. Yes, I know. You want to talk about an excuse. But that's like an alcoholic finding an excuse to drink. Like, oh, the Jets lost today. I'll drink to that. But I know.
A lot of Jets slander, and we haven't even slandered the Giants. I see you, sir. I see what you're doing here.
Well, I mean, the Giants did have a good week. I do think they're going to lose on Monday night, but hey,
hopefully,
Ben does look like Joe Flacco. Shout out to Pete. That is the perfect guy I was looking for. I pulled Mettenberger. I should have preferred. Went deeper into the webs to pull out a Jeff George if he was armless would be my comparison. Really,
I was going to say shout out. I don't know.
How did we get here?
Weird. Declan's being weird.
No, I'm fueling the Steelers. I'm fueling the Steelers rant.
I was going to say I like Pete's shout out or call out for the generational talent that is Saquon. Because that's how he was spoken about. I mean, Giants fans, that was it, right? Like Saquon.
I still get shit when I bring that up, that he's not that a generation.
Well, tell Pete this: if Jerry Jones knew what he was doing and drafted Jalen Ramsey over Ezekiel Elliott, Dak would have a ring already.
When did we get spicy? Did I start it? Was it on me?
It absolutely was you. It absolutely.
No, I mean it's fair.
9 times out of 10 when the spiciness starts, it's you.
Oh, that's not true. We don't have to lie. All right, don't do that.
Steph's the instigator, Greg's the common denominator, and I'm starting to become common denominator junior a little bit.
I do enjoy instigation. It's very fun.
It's fun. It's like the schoolyard, but
we got one more. We'll move on to it's Jags versus Seahawks, and I saved the best for last because tell me that you know who you're picking in this game. I know who I am, but
I know I'm picking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mr. Confused, Mr. Titans, Colts, I don't know, but now you know this one?
First of all, you're not about to equalize Titans, Colts, and Jags, Seahawks. Get the F out of here.
Hey,
you're not gonna call me on this show.
What I'm saying is that you have a Jags team that has struggled. We've seen them win so far. Like Trevor Lawrence has gotten better. But this is a Seahawks team that their defense is bad. They have Geno behind center, not their stud in Russell Wilson. And you're out with Chris Carson. You have Alex Collins. Like their whole team is hurting. And so to me, this is a great game where you can see, well, maybe these Jags, maybe Trevor Lawrence has a chance to beat up on a weak team. Or you can look at it as Trevor Lawrence will not get around this storied team, and they still have DK, they still have Tyler Lockett, like they have weapons still, but it's just Geno. So tell me, Greg, who do you have?
I got the Jags. That was easy.
Oh, it was easy. All right, see,
yeah, it was easy.
I thought some people might take the Seahawks. I thought you might take the Seahawks.
I'll tell you why. Pete Carroll is literally scared with Geno throwing the football. You guys watched that game the other night. It was crazy.
I mean, for good reason.
I get it. It was bad weather and all that. However, if they want to win, they have to trust Geno more with the football. That's just what it comes down to. But I think the win in London against Miami, who isn't a bad football team, just came on some tough luck.
Tua just doesn't have any support.
Yeah, exactly. I think
from the front office.
That was
from anybody, really.
What Trevor Lawrence needed. Like he needed to get that win on his. This is a guy who won his entire life. Never really had to face super duper adversity.
Yeah,
similar to Joe Burrow last year.
Yeah.
And now look at Burrow, telling him it gets better.
Yeah, and I think the connection he has with Marvin Jones Jr. is only gonna get better. James Robinson. Urban Meyer listened to somebody else and started giving James Robinson the football. And
Carlos Hyde.
since they've been giving James Robinson the football, this offense has taken strides each game. And the casual fans who may not watch this may just see Jags, what 1-6 or whatever they are. But this is a football team on offense starting to figure it out. They're not a great football team, not a good football team, but they're starting to figure some things out and starting to play better football. So give me the Jags over the Seahawks backup.
Wow.
You won't even say his name? You won't even say his name?
You know what? Right. Geno Smith.
It's disrespectful. Deck, who you got? You telling me Jags too?
I thought he was going to say G. Smith. No, actually, I'm not telling you Jags. I know. He takes the loophole for the names. But listen, I'm going Geno Smith and the Seahawks, and here's why. The Seahawks the past couple of weeks have played competitive football against better teams. They lost 3-point games to both the Saints and the Steelers. And at home, Legion of Boom, psych, no Legion of Boom at all. They get ran over. However, the Jaguars are short on weapons. James Robinson, hopefully he can get going for their case. But I'm going to go with the Seahawks in this one. I think that the Jaguars defense is not going to be too good. And I think that overall, it's going to be a low-scoring affair. Give me I'm thinking 20-14. It's going to be a weird one. But I don't think that the Jaguars are going to be able to have the success that you would think they would.
Although you said the Jags are short on weapons, it's honestly on offense for the Seahawks. It's Tyler Lockett and DK. At least there's 2 wide receivers and a running back, a solid running back in the Jags offense.
Which 2 wide receivers are you referring?
And they have the better quarterback also.
They do have the better.
Chenault and Marvin Jones.
Mm-hmm. Marvin Jones
easily.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I would take DK and Lockett over them.
No, I'll take that. But if we're talking about the totality of an offense, the Jags offense currently compared to the Geno Smith-led Seahawks offense, the Jags offense is better with more talent.
Yeah, I totally agree the offense is better. I think that the Jags team, I think the play calling is sus. There's a fish in the water there, and obviously that fish is Urban Meyer. I don't trust them on the road in a game with
that's such an old man saying. What are you, 45 years old?
I know. I pulled that one out of nowhere. I mean, Greg, 45. What is that like?
What?
That's 10 years older than you are. I mean, that's not that
I get it,
off.
but you're 18.
I love that
19.
you called that out.
I'm not expecting a 19-year-old to talk about the fish. There's a fish in the water. What are we even talking about here?
Hey man,
Papa Krogman?
Nah, it's not. I've been away from the Savant for like 2 months. I mean, that was just me calling out Urban Meyer's murky business all around. I saw great.
The guy who did the
costume. Yes, I was just getting into that. That was awesome.
Did you see his stuff?
No.
He dressed up in a Jags polo with the headset, and he had a blow-up doll, and he was dancing with her, and he pretty much won the internet.
No, I heard about it. I didn't get to see the picture, but I read a headline.
You were busy being Councilman Steph. That's why. Shout out
to you. That should stick. I mean, that's a good nickname, especially when he makes a run. But I do think that what goes without saying is that Jaguars defense is not good either.
Yeah.
I think that Alex Collins is going to have a decent day rushing if he can play, and I think Rashad Penny alike might be in that same conversation. I think that the Seahawks can wind up scratching out. I mean, they've been playing these low-scoring games, 20-23, 13-10. I would expect a game very similar.
Yeah, here's my thing. This is the reason I'm going with the Jags, and it's really just James Robinson, right? Like, this Seahawks D is so bad. He's gotten 18 carries twice and then 17 carries in the last 3 weeks, right? So he's getting a good volume. I think that he goes over 20 this week. If they're smart, they run James Robinson frequently, often. And with that run game opens up the play action. I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to have a lot of easier passing lanes to throw into compared to what he has in the past. As long as they let James Robinson run this damn ball, he is that good. He showed us that last year. Urban, for some stupid ass reason, thought that he should go away from that. And ever since he has, they've had more chances to win than not. And to me, he is their X factor. When James Robinson goes, the rest of this offense can go. It'll make Trevor Lawrence's job easier. And this is a guy that's finding the NFL, figuring out the NFL a little bit more game after game. He's first time in his life, he's really struggled. He's had to take some L's, and I think he's responding pretty well to the adversity. So I'd like to see James Robinson go over 20 plus carries, and I truly think that this Jaguars offense can top the Seahawks defense. And Geno Smith, you don't even have to be a good defense to stop Geno. Geno can stop Geno. So I truly believe that
he hasn't played horrible.
He hasn't. No. He hasn't. Like, it's just in him is what I'm saying.
They also have no running game with Alex Collins.
Right. I think that changes a bit, and I think that you could see what that Seahawks
I could agree with that.
Coach Russell Wilson is going to come up with some nice plays for Geno. I mean, Tyler Lockett might have the most passing yards by the end of this game for all we know. But hey, man, it'll be that low scoring game. I think that Geno Smith is going to try to game manage like Colt McCoy did going into Seattle last year when they beat the Giants. And shame on you, Greg, for insulting Eric. He was very upset with your 45 comments.
I saw that. My bad, E. My bad. First number that came to my head. Next time I'll shoot much older when Declan starts talking like that.
Yeah. I mean, then again, Big Ben is like 38, so.
I do want to give the floor to someone here. They have a grievance, all right? So here on Smoke and Mirrors, we allow those grievances to be aired, and sometimes they're fantasy related. Other times it's just takes. In this particular case, it is about fantasy, and this is someone that his name is usually called out pretty often on this particular show. He's become kind of a fan favorite. I don't know. Actually, I'm just guessing it's a fan favorite, but we talk about him a lot. So, Greg,
I'm a fan.
I want to give you a chance to speak to the man that is Travis, considered the football guy on the Sunday show.
I mean, I forgot who said it, but it was like a year ago. It was like, he's not the football guy. And at first,
not that guy, like, bro. You should have said it. That was the time.
Yes. Come on, Greg.
Are we gonna make that?
You haven't spent enough time on your For You page, for Christ's sakes. I mean, Jesus. Even know what that is yet?
I have no idea.
Is your username NYC Thunder?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. We're gonna get to the TikTok thing. We're gonna have a segment on my TikTok. Watch.
I'm excited. I want to see the Dolphins.
But wasn't ready for that.
I know. It was out of pocket a little.
It was in pocket.
Travis sent some of the worst trades known to man in fantasy history. He is probably the worst fantasy player I have come across in life. I've been playing fantasy a long time.
The old man.
He's really bad.
Yeah, honestly, though, I send some pretty terrible offers, but I think that's just because Paul Lawson's in the league and he accepts anything that you send him.
Yo, the irony of that is he just traded away Giannis in our NBA fantasy league to Peter.
Did you see who we got back though?
He got Joel Embiid. I can't remember who else, but the two main pieces.
Yeah. No, continue. I'm sorry.
So Travis sent Brandon Falco a trade in the Sports Illustrated Football League. He asked for Derrick Henry, and he wanted to send back Alvin Kamara and Corey Davis. Declan, how do you feel about that trade?
Please tell me Falco accepted that trade.
No, Falco came in the chat and told him stop sending him trades because they're awful, as he should. Because anybody
we got to defend them. We got to defend them. He's right.
If anybody with sense, right, a modicum of sense, would deny that trade. And here's my thing. If you're going to send a BS trade and you know it's a BS trade, just own it. And we got to stop this. I'm sending an opener because you do that too, Declan. All right, we got to stop this.
Yes. No. I'm
sending
it's
an
called
opener to
no. He's not even using the right terminology.
A feeler trade.
Yes, it's called a feeler. All right, that's what it is.
Send me a legitimate offer because some of these trash ass feelers.
Bay.
We made some deals this year. I mean,
but what I'm saying is, you can't send such a if he sent me a trash ass feeler like that, I'm not even sending a counter. I'm just rejecting the trade, and I won't even open discussions because clearly your head is up your ass.
Man, shout out to Manny. He says, imagine Falco and Greg agreeing on a topic.
Imagine Greg saying Falco has any common sense. Did you hear that part too? I was like, what the hell is this Freaky Friday?
We're in the upside down, bro. Hey, Freaky Friday. I like
Halloween.
It.
Hey, look at this.
Travis, you are so wrong. You've made guys that literally are on the opposite end of spectrum in life agree on something. That's how wrong you are. And then I have to read his justification to you guys so you understand how foolish he is. And I hope you're watching this, Travis. I think I tagged you so you can see it and you can respond to it.
Someone had to tag him. I mean, he knows.
There's some more people in the watching the show, so he might be here. I don't know.
I think so. Manny said that. Imagine Falco. Manny said Travis is the key to Greg and Falco's piece. Yeah, Travis is going to be what Dennis Rodman was to Kim Jong and Trump. I feel like. or whoever's in the U.S.
So-
that they had affiliation.
So Travis's whole part of his justification for this trade
It was
was
Trump.
Brandon Falco
I guess
has
that's me,
lost
Falco.
3 in a row, and he's better. The guys he's offering is gonna help his roster by losing Derrick Henry because Henry can't carry his team. Mind you, he has Chase Claypool and Marvin Jones Jr., but somehow Corey Davis is going to be the guy to put his wide receiver core over the top.
Okay.
So and I said Corey Davis
not even Cortland Sutton.
I said Corey
Yeah,
Davis.
he's holding on to him still.
On Travis's team. Why would you think it's okay to send a non-starter on your team with a running back, frankly, outside of last week, who hasn't really performed up to Alvin Kamara's standards in the totality of the season, if we're being honest?
Yeah, the offense isn't as good.
Yeah, he was not even starting on his own team and trade the running back who is pacing the league in points. Then his response was, that's why it's a 2-for-1, smart guy. The audacity to think that he's smart because it's a 2-for-1. Anybody that plays fantasy football and has any type of sense knows that just because you send a 2-for-1 doesn't make it okay. If Travis sent me Corey Davis and some of his other shit for wide receiver, for running backs, for Cooper Kupp, I would laugh in his face because that's not going to help me. That doesn't help my
Travis
roster.
is playing the numbers game. I sent you 4 people that equal more points than the one person I'm asking for, so you should go for it, right?
Oh, ironic you said that because his next point was, why not? Why not? If the 2 players combined would outscore the one, what's the problem? Travis, based on
Take
this
that
logic
back
here,
to the elementary school playground you configured it at. Like,
based on this logic, I did forget about my proclamation that I'm going to make the players before Travis. So shout out to me, Travis and Peter. We all started 0-4 and now we're all 3-4. But Travis is not going to make the players because of shit like this, right?
Yeah.
Because of
You
shit
and
like
Travis is like the Falcons Panthers, I feel like.
This. Yeah.
I would agree to that.
No.
3-3, 3-4.
No. Travis is the Panthers because he's trending in the wrong direction with trades
So,
like this.
so you're gonna take the Falcons?
Well,
Absolutely, they're trending in the right
All right,
direction.
all right,
I'll
all
take that.
I
And
mean,
they
you're
got Kyle
both
Pitts.
kind of on the same. Yeah,
Kyle Pitts.
that's the difference. The difference.
Kyle
is
Pitts is better than
That's
Eddie.
the only reason why Greg's okay with this. Kyle Pitts.
And ironically enough, in this league, shout out to Karan because after Tyler Lockett went off in game 1, I traded him for Kyle Pitts straight up, and I am winning that trade.
I'm sorry. Karan traded you Kyle Pitts and you gave him Tyler Lockett. That's what happened.
Yes.
and there was no extra tight ends involved, like another another 5.
So he traded Pitts. Who was it? The other one. It was Pitts. Kelsey?
Kittle.
No, Kittle.
No. Kittle. And
Andrews.
and Mark Andrews.
Damn.
And he's gotten back
Mark
Tyler
Ingram,
Lockett.
Cortland Sutton, Tyler Lockett. But in his defense with the Lockett deal, a lot of people weren't as
The Lockett
high
deal's
on Kyle
not
Pitts.
bad.
Yeah,
The Lockett deal's not bad at all, and he might still wind up benefiting a little
Like,
bit from it.
you
'Cause
know,
he's got so much depth at the tight
he
end
can.
position anyway.
I mean, does he have depth
And now
anymore?
Well, now he's
He
got
has
a new
Kelsey.
receiver.
he has Waller.
Yeah, he's only
Okay,
got
okay.
4 left.
I can't be down to like where you have to draft Kyle Pitts to just trade him straight up for Tyler Lockett. I couldn't. I needed to hold out, but it's fine. It's fine. He traded him after a big game.
I wonder how gorgeous Captain Cortland Sutton is doing on Peter.
Oh, he traded
Oh.
Cortland Sutton to Peter.
for what? I know. I saw.
Peter,
that's
what'd
why
you
I read
get?
that.
What'd you get, Peter?
Pete, drop it in the chat. Let's see.
Yeah,
what it
drop
goes.
that shit in the chat. I want to see Cortland
That was
Sutton.
like
Jerry
the
Judy's
most,
coming back.
That was like you. That was like almost a pump fake of you saying shit. Like that was like when you say it in class and like you got to make sure no one hears this.
Oh, did we finish football?
Yeah.
Real quick.
think, right?
Pretty
so
much.
Declan, I think you mentioned this, and I forgot. We can't go without talking about this.
Did
Deshaun
he
Watson. Yeah, he mentioned in the chat. I saw it briefly.
Oh, I'm like, he did
But-
not mention it on the show.
not on the
Yeah,
show.
what's up?
Deshaun Watson Rams mutually agree to seek trade wide receiver
Deshaun
won't play.
Jackson.
Yeah, Deshaun. What I said?
Oh, Watson. I'm like,
oh, my fault. Deshaun Jackson.
I'm like the
my bad.
Rams. They have Stafford.
Yeah, Deshaun Jackson and Rams
Yeah,
mutually
Bill
agree
Polian
to seek
said he's gonna play receiver.
trade.
for the
I
Rams.
don't. I honestly, I think he's a dynamic weapon for them. He may not get as many as the snap count, but I think he's a necessary person to have on that roster because
Yeah.
of his ability to
If
stretch
Van-
the field and allow
If
Cooper
Van
Kupp to
goes
work
down.
underneath.
I mean, if Van Jefferson goes down, they have nobody over the top.
Really. Yeah. I would say Van Jefferson
So,
is that player for them now, and I feel like Deshaun just wants more playing time. He wants more burn. He's not getting that over Van Jefferson.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like Peter kind of fleeced Travis in that trade.
You mean Karan? I mean, Karan.
No. He's talking about this Peter. He's talking about this Cortland trade.
He gave up Miles Gaskin and Jacoby Myers. That's what it takes to pull wide receiver one, Cortland Sutton. That's it.
That wasn't with Travis. That was with Karan.
No, he got Sutton.
He got from Sutton.
No. Remember, Travis traded Sutton to Karan with the tight end.
Oh, I forgot. That's why Travis getting Sutton. That's
why
I was on the same page.
All right, I was thinking. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. So Karan got fleeced.
That ain't even DJ Moore money.
Oh, man. Hey, Pook, if you're watching this, man, please stop. I need you to send whatever trade someone sends you, put it in our group chat, and I will okay it.
Yeah.
I will make
He's got good Yankee taste, though, I will say.
Yeah, he does. I'll give him.
I like his
he knows his baseball. He does. We got to bring him on to talk baseball because he knows his baseball.
I'm 100% down to do that, but Pook cannot talk about football. We're not allowing that. After these trades, I am upset. I want to be in this league because I vetoed the hell. I would not allow these to fly. These are not okay. Y'all out here fleecing Karan. All right. Rob this man blind.
Shout out to Chuck. Me and Chuck traded kickers this week.
That's fun. Wow.
So it wasn't just kickers. I got Javonte Williams and Younghoe Koo, and I traded Harrison Butker and Jerry Jeudy.
Okay.
Wow. Only Greg and Chuck would trade kickers, right? I mean, that's crazy. But a little fun fact: I was invited into this league and initially was going to play, and I misread that. I guess one of the payments is like $600, and I didn't realize that was a payout that we were going to get. So I thought we had like entry fees. I was like, bro, like $1,100 right now. Are you kidding me? I was like, bro, I think I'll read the message I sent to Pete. Because it was funny. I'm trying to remember.
Hold on. Peter said my trade was BS and he was going to cancel it. Don't be Stalin after the BS you've seen in this league because Jerry Jeudy coming back is going to be the wide receiver one. Cortland Sutton then slides down because that's just the talent level on that team. And a kicker for a kicker means nothing. But I get a running back two for a potential wide receiver one. That trade is all based on potential. It's not based on production because he's looking at Jerry Jeudy as a guy who's going to come back. I'm looking at a guy in Javonte Williams who's still getting out carried by Melvin Gordon, but has the potential to be a starter towards the end of the year, kind of like Cam Akers did for the Rams. Peter, I need you to be better. Don't let Travis rub off.
Wow.
Do not let Travis rub off on you because there was a lot of Travis in that comment, and I cannot have that happen.
Chat now. The chat's not safe. Nobody in the chat's safe. You guys better triple check what you're writing in here.
Yeah.
So what do you mean? Who trades kickers?
Wait, hold on.
I think it's a little ridiculous.
Hold on. All right.
He's hanging up.
Let's get him on the line.
I'm reading our message.
This fantasy back and forth for this VIP league that you guys are in. But we still have to talk about the World Series. I want to get into that.
Yes.
But Deck, you had something you wanted to say in regards to a message.
Pete. Yeah, it's really not that important. But I texted him in August. I said, I really want to do the league. Broke AF, though. Gonna have to pass, unfortunately. To which Pete replies, LMAO, no worries. I got you, bro. Wow. I mean, he must have been thinking like, wow, this kid can't find $100 in 3 months, but all right, man, cool. I'm like, all right. Yeah. Well, Pete, just a little heads up. I thought this was a really I thought I was gonna have to pay tuition to be in this league, honestly. That's what I thought.
And I was like, alone, bro.
Yeah. I was thinking, I like my thumbs. I know I'm not paying this, so I'm not gonna risk anything like that. So Pete, I'll do it next year, man, because someone's gonna get bored after going like 3-12. It'll either be you, Greg, or Travis, and
real quick,
leave.
Peter said he's never seen anyone trade kickers, and I say this on the show all the time. Just because you've never seen it done doesn't mean it can't happen.
That's some knowledge from Greg there. First of all, I want to say
going out of the Browns fan playbook right there.
I always enjoy a nice Greg rant. And you come out with them every now and then, every couple of weeks. You come back out with something. You're upset about something, right? You're upset dad, and you want the world to know. And I get it.
He's going as a tired dad for Halloween. I mean,
you could be an upset dad for Halloween. Either one. I think any level of version of dad you can nail. All right, you do them all. You're very talented.
Depends on if his kids like the candy. If they don't like it, then he's gonna have a miserable Halloween.
I will say I did like the back and forth with fantasy, and y'all let us know in the chat. We'll add this as a segment. We can just have a fantasy segment just to talk about what's going on and air out grievances, because the chat has. I mean, Pete, I hear you. There's some true frustration in there, and I want us to be able to air it out. But for now, we have our own little regiment we have set up. So soon coming, y'all be ready. All right.
Did someone say baseball? I smell fall classic weather right now.
It's coming in. You hear it's kind of woofing into the room.
My Astro
right
jersey
now.
is on order.
Oh wow!
That's actually. I want to let you know that right now.
Wow.
That's a disgrace. That is actually a disgrace.
Well,
shame on you entirely.
Nope.
Hey,
with pride.
Well, it's a 1-1 series right now, right? And it's been good. And this is exactly what we spoke about when we said how the series had to go for the Braves, right? They needed a split out in Houston. That's exactly what they did. They had a huge game one for them, leading off with a solo home run from Soler, which was set the tone, really, and a heroic start from Charlie Morton, who gets hit in the second inning on a comebacker and pitches finishes out the second with a broken fibula.
96.
Fibula. Yeah. Like
struck
ridiculous.
out Altuve. I mean, it's crazy.
On a filthy
and they all knew
at that.
And they all knew what pitch was coming too.
Yeah,
it was 5 years ago.
Look at this guy. He won't let it go. But the offense was clicking for the Braves. You had Soler, you had Riley, you had Duvall, you had Freeman getting runs across the plate, and they won the first game, which is exactly what we said that night. Braves are going to win. Charlie Morton's going to be the reason. Game 2, flip the script. Right, we had the Astros coming out and putting 6 different Astros scoring runs off of Max Fried. Max Fried gave up 6 earned runs across 5 innings. They just could not come back from that. And this is the Astro teams that we expected to be there. I will say, though, these Braves, which I call for them in 7, just like Deck, their offense to me, don't shake your head like that.
There's no bias behind that pick. I got to tell you, I love Dusty. I love Dusty Baker.
There was bias.
I know. I saw the head shake, and I wanted to clarify. Listen, I love Dusty. There's a good chunk of me that would love to see him get a ring because he deserves it.
Sometimes I just do things to be an antagonist when both
I was gonna say, don't acknowledge him.
We know.
Don't acknowledge him.
I was acknowledging him because I didn't want to let it slide.
Leave him be. All right.
Okay.
But game 2, we saw the Astros do what the Astros do. They put up runs. They won 7-2, whereas the Braves won 6-2. So this is right now they're going back and forth, exchange of blow for blow. Tonight we have game 3, which should be a very interesting game. We have Luis Garcia versus Ian Anderson, who I wouldn't give him the Kershaw bit at all, but
I was gonna say when you said Luis Garcia, I insert Snoop Dogg gif. Who? That's the Dodgers game 3 starter. Do you want to? I wish I had a prop bet for that back in April. Who's gonna be the Dodgers game 3 starter in the biggest postseason series? Luis Garcia. 8 billion to 1.
I think you mean Astros. You said Dodgers.
Astros. You said Dodgers. Yeah.
You said Dodgers twice.
Did I say the Dodgers?
Brain fart.
Don't worry, Ma. He's
been studying so hard.
I got my Dodgers jersey in the corner that is going to be on rest until I guess the spring or maybe a nice winter party up here. But not the Dodgers. Excuse me. I guess Astros, I was thinking of the nice matchup that I would have really wanted in the Dodgers Astros. But
Saki Steph.
Yeah, man. I was thinking that it wasn't Saki. Okay, it's not.
Yeah, it's not. It's a nice hard
moonshine. Oh yeah. Hard seltzer.
It's what's in the fridge, bro. I need to restock. It's all right. But
all right.
Greg, I'm gonna start with you now. I want to know, who do you have tonight for this matchup? We have a split series now, 1-1, and this is again what we said was going to happen. We expected them to split out in Houston. Now we're back in Atlanta. Who do you have, and what do you make of this series so far?
So what I make of the series is that it's really interesting. This is one of the first World Series we've seen in a long time, and there's no real marquee pitching matchups. No. Everybody's kind of middle of the road, middle of the pack. And To me, that's what makes this a really good World Series, because these pitchers have to grind. There's no like the talent levels are here. You won't see this.
Yeah.
Like if it's a Scherzer versus a Garcia. But that being said, give me the Astros just because they're more experienced and they're grittier. And I'm just gonna ride the Astros train till it falls off, till my jersey comes in.
Yeah, I hope it falls off before your jersey comes in. That's gonna be funny.
You would.
I want that too. I want that too.
It's gonna be funny.
There's memes all over the interwebs about how baseball fans need to get to band together behind the Braves to beat the Astros. All for this. I've seen like 4 of them.
Have you seen the map of how many states are rooting for the Braves? And it's
like not even
Texas
all of Texas.
And Delaware. It's like Texas, Louisiana, and Delaware.
It's not even all of Texas. I saw a joke map that had like just Houston. But Greg, you mentioned the Dodgers, and I do have an apology to make. Listen, we pride ourselves as good news journalists to tell the truth and get accurate information. I pride myself as a man of faith. I don't know if I'm going to wear this headset. And there's a deep drive to left center field by Castellanos. That'll make it a 4-0 ball game. I don't know if I'm going to wear this headset again.
I wish. I don't think there are a lot of non-baseball fans that don't get that reference.
I tagged Chuck. That was just for him. Right, that was just for him. And he's saying LMAO in all caps. So very nice. I'm glad I mistook. I guess I woke up maybe last year at this time and was excited to see the Dodgers get a bubble ring, as Richard Carlo, our boy in the chat, just called it. But yeah, man.
I think Richard Carlo is also a Yankee fan rooting for the Braves. I believe so.
We got more room, I would say.
I'm sorry. I had like music playing in my headphones. It was just random stuff popping up.
What's your take on this game? I got Astros going up 2-1. Sorry, I don't know if I said that.
Yeah, no, you didn't. You alluded to it. You didn't say that exact 2-1. You had the Astros winning. I'm gonna go Braves here. I just think that the split that they had was important. That's momentum in and of itself, even though they lost game 2. The defense from both sides to me has been so good. Just the defensive plays. It's the kind of World Series.
Albies.
Yeah, Albies. You have Altuve. Like they've made some really clutch plays on shifts that otherwise.
Shout out to Ozzy Albies. Got everyone a free taco for stealing the base.
Which that was a clutch. I mean, a clutch steal, right? And this is
a good bag. Definitely a good bag.
He spoke about it during the playoffs when Mookie did it. And this just goes to show you, right? When you have guys that can move station to station, right? Like take that bag. Maybe it's a single. They can stretch now into a double almost by stealing second. Watching Austin Riley's double put you up early, very quickly. And simply a stolen base. Because if he hits that double, it's really first to third. And if he tries to stretch it out for 4, he might get thrown out.
Yeah.
But that type of baseball is what I'm seeing from Atlanta, and I like it, and I want to see more of that. And I just think that this is a team that, shout out to Jock Peterson. I think he was. I'm not going to get the quote. Yeah, I'm not going to get the quote exact, but I can pull it up for you. Can you please?
Yes,
it's almost like a why not us, right?
He posted it on Instagram, I believe.
He's become but as this postseason's going on, he's such a likable player.
I prefer Atlanta Jock over LA Jock.
Any other Jock.
Yeah, other iteration of Jock.
He brought the LA vibe that he didn't have out in LA because everybody had an LA vibe. Look at Cody Bellinger. He brought that LA vibe to Atlanta. And the quote, Steph, that you were alluding to was he said, "We might have taken an unconventional path to get to this stage. We might have 88 wins, but we also just might be those mother effers."
Yeah.
So, that's
why not us?
Why not us? That's a fun new era level energy.
Yes, it is, and I think it's leaders like that are in the
a newly acquired
clubhouse.
Leader.
Yes, in the clubhouse. That I think going into Atlanta, they're playing. There's a lot of house money that really they have, right? 1-1 is exactly what you wanted to be at. In the not best case scenario, because best case is 2, but to take a win away from Atlanta, from Houston, at their home stadium is massive. And you're seeing the offense. Their offense is clicking. I mean, I know game 2, they only put up 2 runs, but they're potent throughout the lineup. There are guys that can hurt you with a missed pitch, right? And just the fact that Travis d'Arnaud, I swear, man, every Met player, when they leave the Mets, finds a way to end up in the postseason, end up in a World Series, and be impactful. Travis d'Arnaud was a guy that we signed, and beginning of the season, we're just like
Traded for.
Well, no, I'm saying
Traded
with the
him.
Mets though.
Oh,
They
when you
traded
got him
yeah.
again?
Yeah. Well, no. I'm saying when we
Did he have a second stint? No, he did.
No, it wasn't a
he didn't have
second stint. There's no second stint. He got paid. They gave him a contract, and then the season began. They're like, you know what? This guy's in it. Traded him away, and he's done nothing but produce where he's gone afterwards. The Rays and the Braves. That solo home run. Yeah, it's only 2 runs they put up, but that is a guy that he already defensively is a solid catcher. Now he can help you offensively. You can put him back there and hope to get some production from him. So I think these Braves, give me them in game 2, honestly, to set the tone for this homestand that they have. But Deck, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I remember Greg and I think, got into a debate in the Thunder group chat about d'Arnaud being a top 10 catcher going into the season. Yeah. And I think he might not have been there at that time. I remember it was a long MLB. You guys know, you remember the shredder they always put out in the off season, the MLB Network. They put out the shredder. They put out their best positions, the best players at the position, whatever. He was on the list. But Steph, I agree. I think that Chuck said it really best in the chat when he said Ian Anderson needs to pitch like he did last postseason, and I think he will tonight. I think he'll have a nice outing, very similar to how Noah Syndergaard's outing against the Royals was in 2015, a big outing from a young kid. I think he gets it done. So that's my pick for tonight. Garcia, I don't see going more than 3 innings. How about that's maybe a hot take? I don't know. But.
I don't even think that the Ian Anderson has to be as good as he was last postseason. I just think that the Braves and the way that they've been hitting their offense, to me, they can almost go toe to toe with these Astros. I love and it wasn't all home runs. Like they're moving the line. Yeah, with the singles.
It was like a small ball, you know, taking an extra base
here. Exactly. And I think that's the kind of game that they need to have in order to beat these Astros, especially at home right now. And to take this game and go up 2-1 is everything for the Braves. I don't think that they'll lose they'll lose the series if they lose tonight. I don't think it's a huge momentum swing, but it means more for the Braves to win than it does for the Astros.
Agreed. I mean, I'd have the Braves winning 2 games in a series anyway. So I could see them winning either of these next games.
Yeah.
You look like you paused. Like we thought you froze again.
I paused because I was reading the paragraph that Deck just dropped in our little chat.
I would call it a paragraph. Yeah.
I saw you like clicking away. I'm like, I don't know what's happening right now.
I was frowning to Greg. I mean,
yeah. Oh no. I get it now, but that's why I froze. I was just like, huh? But yes, I got Braves. Deck, you got Braves. Greg, Astros.
Yes. Astros. Manny, stop crying in the comments about Altuve taking roids. Charlie Morton should be tested.
Wow. Oh, Charlie. All right, I want to move through this pretty quickly because we already over time, but I do want to touch on this because it's goddamn good. And it's the Knicks, man. We got to talk about these Knicks. The 4-1 Knicks, 4-way tie in the Eastern Conference for first place, all right? Those Knicks that just beat the formerly undefeated Bulls last night in a close one.
That's Reynolds' team. And Skip J Balex. There we go.
Oh, there it is. I was like, who are you talking about? Skip J Balex.
Yeah, I was confused. I was like, Skip Bayless. I mean, I don't even know. I think his team is just LeBron hater. That's his favorite team.
But the Knicks
team plays LeBron.
The Knicks appear to have the juice right now, and I'm here to ask you, Greg. I'm going to start with you. Are you buying these New York Knicks, as the team that they seem at 4-1?
He's buying it from Dolan. That's why
I am buying it because this is their second year under Thibodeau. I think he's instilled a culture, which is what he's known for, and their guys are starting to buy in. I do want to see what the team's going to look like when some of these rookies start to get involved in the rotation. But as far as the guys they have now, I mean, I drafted Evan Fournier, and outside his dud last night, he's been pretty solid for them.
Carl's favorite player. And my favorite last name to pronounce or to not look up, I would say.
Dak, are you also
hold on. I keep saying this Bing Bong thing in regards to the Knicks. Can somebody explain that to me? I was too busy worried about my Grizzlies beating those guys out west. But anyhow,
I've been out the city too long. I couldn't tell you what it is. Chuck is typing away.
Is that it? Is that supposed to be side talk?
Side talk.
Do you know I went to high school?
It's the train sound. Okay, I get it. Yeah,
because that New York City had side talk.
Yes. Side talk. Jack Byrne, shout out to him. He's the cameraman behind it. He goes to NYU. I went to high school with him in the city. So good guy. Side talk's the best.
They're great. AP the Angel. Shout out to AP the Angel, photographer.
Yes.
But he's like a big New York guy. Like if you follow him on IG, you just know how wild he is.
I like Spider Cuz.
Oh, Spider Cuz is great.
Spider Cuz is the best.
But AP was at the I think it might have been the home opener, and just like Side Talk being out there, like it's great. That energy is exactly what New York needs.
Yeah,
and the Knicks,
the anti-Cuomo, when Cuomo got kicked out, that was a nice party they had in Union Square. They do a lot of funny stuff, and it's like the best 1-minute videos you'll find on IG. I feel like
I agree. It's really good. But Deck, what do you think of this? Are you buying these Knicks as well, or do you think it's kind of fool's gold at this point? You're going to sell on them?
Yeah, I love Greg. Greg's laptop died. He'll be right back. But
yes.
For those who don't know, he said Spider Cuz is hilarious. That's true. Anytime Hennessy's involved, Greg is happy, and so Spider Cuz. So they have a little bit of a mix there. I love it when they go nuts in Washington Square Park. I mean, I remember after the election, they had people running naked through the fountain. I mean, they had to shut Washington Square Park down.
They know about that.
Spider Cuz and Side Talk were there. But as far as the Knicks goes, keeping it within the city, I do believe in the Knicks. I think that they're going to make a run in the Eastern Conference this year. I could see them being the 3 or 4 seed. I mean, they were the 4 last year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But I could see them being the 3 seed this year and really coming out. And Thibodeau plays great defense. He doesn't have time for a woman in his life, he says. So he's a full-time basketball coach. He's the definition of a gym rat. And I think this team has a decent amount of depth that really they kind of pride themselves on. Their rotation is solid, and I like what I've seen from the Knicks so far. Who would have thought we'd be panicking more about the Nets?
Oh, but I'm going to get to them. But Greg,
I guess Carl did think
that. Nobody cares what Carl's thinking about that.
Pete is so salty. The Knicks have a good week, and he's already saying first-round exit. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Oh, that's right. He's a Net fan because they've been playing like trash.
Yeah, they have. They really have. And I want to move on to them. So we have a 2-3 Nets team that I would say, yes, we knew Kyrie was going to be there, but this was not the expectation. James Harden has not played to the best of his abilities. We do see KD doing his best work, but we've seen a lot of sus lineups being put out there by Steve Nash, and it's showing. They have 3 losses, as I said. We have the Hornets, the Heat, and Bucks. So those 3 are the losses that they have. 2-3 on the season.
3 playoff teams at that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
and the Hornets.
Agree with that. The Hornets.
And I agree. Greg's take for them to make the Eastern Conference Finals. Sure, it's a hot take, but it's a calculated one. And that's a team that, sure, we view the Nets as above them, but it didn't look that way when they played. And could be early season, not gelling, but that stuff happens when you got the Nets team that they
Miles
got
Bridges
right
is a big part of that.
There was something very interesting in that game from the Hornets. LaMelo Ball basically dismantled them in the second half, as far as the distribution, scoring. But Ish Smith came in the fourth quarter and was working them over as well. And LaMelo Ball was going to come into the game, but he said, no, Ish is hot. Keep him in. You don't see that from second-year players.
Yeah. Especially not somebody whose father is LeVar Ball.
I mean, yeah. Well, I never got the I never got the vibe that LaMelo embodied his father at all.
He doesn't. But I mean, that's definitely something that you wouldn't expect from anybody, really. If you think about it, let's just call it what it is.
But the ability to have that maturity to allow the guy who doesn't play that much, but just say, yeah, you're helping our team win. I think that's something that's going to play really well in the locker room and just make them a better team overall because of it. And I think it can only help them in the future.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. But what is I want to ask you this for the Nets though. Do you think this is just a case of missing Kyrie, missing their third superstar, or is this a failure of constructing this team and they have bigger problems than just Kyrie being out?
It's 100% the latter. Losing DeAndre Jordan, losing Jeff Green, these were key pieces. Yeah. I mean, they may not be the offensive juggernaut, but they played intricate roles on this team. And paying Joe Harris is going to come back to bite them because defense wins in the playoffs, and we saw that. And this team defensively can't defend a pick and roll. They can't defend a perimeter. They can't defend inside. They just can't defend. So you have a team with these two superstars who are doing what they can, but the other pieces needed to win. They essentially gutted the role players. And Blake Griffin is a shell, like I expected him to be. He
wasn't last year.
He was on SNL.
Wait, hold on. Wait. You didn't let me finish.
All right.
He gave a little tease last year to prove me wrong, and then once after the tease, he was like, "All right, I'm gonna go back to sitting back and collecting these checks."
As long as you said you're wrong, because you were speaking about last season.
Yeah, I said he was done. He can't even dunk no more. I was wilding. I was.
Greg feels unleashed on his phone right now. No headphones, no microphones. This is like
I'm
getting like when Steph called out about the Blake Griffin, he was fighting for his life in the group chat. It felt like. I mean, it was like Mike Miller sound yelling passion at the screen.
Did you see me and Mike Miller on Wednesday, by the way?
It was a great debate. It was a lot of fun. It was a good show. I wish you did it like this because it would have been insane. It's nuts.
Hold on. So before we move on, I want to just get to these comments real quick. I have Alonzo. Shout out to Alonzo in the chat. There's nothing to panic about. It's a slow start. Look at the whole league. The Nets will be fine. Is how he looks at it. And then I want to just hold on one other one. We have. I don't know if it was you, Pete, or if it was Eric that was saying that Harden's out of shape. And they're saying that he didn't look good during preseason.
Surprisingly, Pete actually trashed one of his favorite team's players and said that he's out of shape.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So what I will say about the Nets, they are going to figure it out. They are.
Yeah.
The players wise. But Steve Nash needs to figure it out. Like you said, Steph, his rotation has been poor. In terms making adjustments. Coaching in general on any level is about making adjustments. And if you can't adjust, you're going to lose. And that's what happens. Steve Nash is early on looking like he's in over his head. I think he can be better than what he showed. I know this team is better than what they've showed. But as far as roster construction, there are pieces missing.
Yeah. I mean, I could have to agree with that. Greg, what are you? Greg. Deck, what are your thoughts on this, on these Nets? Are you believing the same thing as Greg, or do you actually think it's just a case of missing one superstar?
I think that I find a common balance, honestly. I think right now, KD said it best. Yes, they do miss Kyrie. I mean, of course, you're missing one of your top three players, and it shows that it's not gelling right now. But if you look at what Nash has been able to do, or what he's not been able to do really, is run those rotations successfully. This team doesn't have the depth that it should have. Greg's completely right with how they cut over the role players. But this team right now, from top to bottom, everyone except KD, coaching, the X's and O's of basketball, the way they shoot, the way they move, with the exception of Joe Harris, who does have the highest three-point percentage over the last 2 years, trailing right ahead of Steph Curry, who's second. But that's one big thing there. But I agree with no depth. The coaching's poor, and right now with Kyrie out, it's got Net fans looking at their TV wondering, is Kenny Atkinson still available?
I want to get this comment in from Eric because I wasn't sure who said it, but he corrected it. Eric said Harden is not out of shape. He's not able to play all summer, rehabbing the leg, 0 basketball played. So I think that you can look at that as a factor. I will say we're gonna have to see. I mean, it's still early, 2-3. It's not the start that we expected from the Nets, but it's not also a death sentence where they haven't won a game at all. I want to move on to one more point, and it has something to do with my overreaction, and that's Chef Curry himself, because that man has been cooking. All right, what I said was 72 wins. I'll stick by it still, but seeing a healthy Steph makes a world of difference. Averaging 30 points, 8 rebounds, 6.6 assists, 1.6 steals, and 5 threes a game. The man is, and this is without Clay, right? And yes, they lost last night, Greg. You know, I'm glad your Grizzlies got to, big smile. Big shit-eating smile. You deserve it. Ja did his thing. Ja's been really good, by the way. He's
Did you
like
just say?
29
Did you say shit-eating smile?
Grin,
that was a shit-eating grin that he just put on there, matching the green sweatshirt. I mean, that was.
I'm glad Kaylee can't hear all this, but yeah, hey Kaylee, by the way, but yeah, I am happy for the Grizzlies. Hard fought game. They played well down the stretch there, but we're seeing what Steph. Yes, we're seeing what Steph can do without having Clay there. And I know that there are other role players that haven't really put it together. They're 4-1 right now. But I do think when they get Clay back, this is a very dangerous team. Seeing the Splash Brothers together, which we have not seen in years now, is going to be a big difference in that Western Conference and is going to show that that Golden State is a team to fear. And Kaylee, this one's for you. What do you make?
You just woke up from a nap.
All right, Kayla. So if you can't answer it, it's okay. You can try your best, though. What do you make of this Steph Curry start? All right. And do you think that Golden State is the real deal?
She said yes. She said Team Light Skin all day.
I thought I heard that. I wasn't sure. She's laughing, though.
She is. But yeah, Deck, I'm going to hit it to you then because Kayla gave us her opinion. What are you making on this Steph Curry start? And again, Golden State, do you think it is, do you agree with me that it's a matter of Clay coming back and changing this offense and making them just another gear, adding another wrinkle to their offense?
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, I think this team could go 82-0. Sorry, I just wanted to outbold Steph on this Friday evening. No, I think he's been very good. They beat up on I don't want to say beat up, but they beat a lot of good teams. Yeah. And so far he's been a one-man show. He looks like an early MVP contender, if not a favorite. And it's going to be nice to see the 77th best basketball player of all time, Klay Thompson, coming back and getting the Splash Brothers reunited. It was nice to see Draymond. I think he helped Ja Morant out last night, make a trade in fall. Steph, you are unmuted. I mean, Greg. Why? I don't know. Well, we're all just.
I was like, I'm muted.
Well, 76 because we're taking Reggie off the list.
Okay, all right, we'll take him off. That's fine. But Steph, to answer your question, I'm a believer, and I think that this Warriors hot start is going to make it a very fun matchup to see that Western Conference, see how it plays out down the stretch with the Lakers and all the star-studded teams out there. So it should be a good one, but I'm a believer in the Golden State Warriors.
There it is. I like to hear it. I got Eric again. He has a bold take. Picking Denver out of the West if all stars are healthy. What's your take on that, Greg?
It depends on when Jamal Murray comes back.
Yes. I mean, but he did. Was it a torn ACL or did he like?
I can't remember if it was torn.
I can't remember.
But I know he's the X factor there. They can't win without him.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I agree.
Kaylee just looked at me sideways. You know he likes skin too, right? Just saying.
Yeah, no, I think that is as far as Denver goes, they're really gonna need Murray. Like it just I can't see them moving without it. Ultimately, I wanted to shout out the Bulls, even though that they lost to the Knicks. I didn't want to go back because that team construction, this is a whole revamp, and they've looked a lot better. This is Alonzo Ball that a lot of people gave up on.
No. Skip Balex.
Yeah, and I guess it's more so, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but I think in basketball circles, they saw that there was potential there, but he just was not going to be the player that LaMelo LaMelo was the standard. And to me, people looked at Lonzo and kind of like maybe he can be, but he struggles with consistency, which is true. What are you going to say, Greg?
So a lot of Lonzo's game was overshadowed by his father's persona because people, the way his father spoke about it was like, yeah, he's going to be the next, big thing. So people expected the next big thing. But when he was just a solid NBA player, they considered that a bust. But what they don't realize is every year Lonzo's been in the league, he's improved. He's one of the best on-ball defenders at his position. And he's he's very good at distributing the ball and pushing the ball with pace. These are things that are not, you don't see in the stat sheet.
Yeah.
And his 3-point shooting is vastly improved, and it's something that people, because when he came in the league, he had the real sus looking shot,
Yeah,
but
he looked like the guy that would pull up to the court and with a backpack on and say, "Let me get one shot," and then he'd brick it.
Yeah, but his shooting coach over in New Orleans, they've done a lot of good work. So if you've been following along, you won't make Skip Bayless like points talking about we have to see him improve, because that's all he's done.
So you like players that improve every year? Interesting to know, Josh Allen.
Here we go. First of all.
Shameless plug.
If you watch him closely, you wouldn't make Skip Bayless
I've
points.
already said that Josh
Skip
Allen
Bayless.
has improved. The problem I had with you was that you made it seem like his second year was good. It wasn't.
Yeah, no, his second year was average, if not below average. He was a game manager, but it took them a year to get him to that game manager.
It also took you a year plus to say that. Just saying.
Yeah, it also. I mean, it did take a while for you to say he wasn't average, but I mean, It's nice to see you have him in the top. I said that
the same season.
Yes, but it's nice to see you have him in the top.
I know,
five
Kaylee. He's talking crazy, right? I know, Kaylee.
Yeah. Kaylee's just like, Dad, why are you making me associate near this Jets attire?
It's dinner time. That's what it is. It's dinner time.
I thought she's not feeling too well. That's the problem. She's like, I want to go out and trick or treat. I'm trying to get this candy, bro. I got these.
She's a Jets fan. She can't eat those W's like Jameis does. All right, so she's got to find something else to eat, Greg.
Rude. I'm gonna talk about my niece like that.
Because the Giants been eating W's like that so often. Get out of here.
Hey, DJ had a nice win over Meadowlands Sam, so I can't be too upset.
Meadowlands Sam. I
Medi
kind of want that
Sammy.
to stick.
Dude,
Yeah.
make that a T-shirt. I'm gonna call up Side Talk. Get him on a T-shirt with Spider Cuz.
Well, as always, this has been a lot of fun. For everyone that's hung around with us, and for those that were there earlier, thank you for tuning in on a Friday evening or afternoon to talk with us. And
It'll be a good weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend.
Halloween. Councilman Steph.
Glad that y'all stopped by.
The Basquiat.
Hope you're enjoying. Yes, the Basquiat bottle. I will actually plug that again. I will be hosting a party on Sunday, 7 to 11 at Basquiat's Bottle in Bed-Stuy on Fulton Street. If you follow me on IG, the information's there, but I'll also share it on Facebook too, so y'all can
plug your IG, bro.
Oh yeah,
so there's no way to
I'll drop it in the chat too. It's
2-Step Steph.
It's 2-Step Steph is the personal IG, but it's posted on the Black Nerd on the Low account for the podcast.
We got a political account here. Look at this. He's already putting the plan in motion. Yo.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the chat so you guys can see it. If you can make it, love to see you out there. It's gonna be a good time. For everyone else, hope you enjoy your Halloween. Be safe, have fun. Hey, high five, Kayla. I like to see it.
Yes, and I have one. Sorry, not to.
Please hit it.
One thing I did say in Halloween, Steph brings up a great point. Be safe. Have fun. Obviously, everyone be careful. Halloween crimes happens. Some stuff with the candy. Obviously, just be very careful. Not to sound like somebody's mother or like my mother. Unwrap candy's never good. And another thing to look out for is if you see a kid with a blue pumpkin, that's promoting autism awareness. So I humbly ask on behalf of the autism community that you be patient and you hand out those kids candy. But look out for the blue pumpkins and have a great weekend is what I will have to say.
I like it, Deck. As always, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to all Sports Hit List content on YouTube, Facebook, and IG. The handle is Sports HL. Again, that is Sports HL. We're done for today, but on Sunday, we have our Sunday show with Travis, who I believe he might be losing his title as a football guy. Trav, you got to pick it up.
Lost, not losing. Lost.
Okay, all right. So Greg says you lost it. Sorry, Trav. You got to stop Travin', dog. But
Greg, I gotta memify the face Greg just made. That's a GIF if I've ever seen one. That's how I'm gonna start responding to some takes I've been seeing lately. Just with that.
12 p.m. on Sunday, you can catch the live show, the Sunday show, I should say. Monday, we're gonna be back as always, 7 to 8. Tuesday, you have the Fan Zone. Love it. Wednesday's a live show, and then we're going to be back again here on Friday. All right, so you know the lineup. Be sure to show out. Again, enjoy the Halloween weekend. I'm your host, Stephen Polius, alongside Declan Krogman and Greg Polius. This is Smoke and Mirrors, presented by the Sports Hit List. You guys have a great weekend. Take care.